One of the most important things that clients want to know when they come to InboxArmy is how long does onboarding take, right? There's a lot that goes into that. So let's unpack this here a little bit. Typically, onboarding runs anywhere from 6 to 8 weeks, depending upon several factors, the current size and complexity of your program. We also need to think about if your current program is impacted by any other factors, such as the disposition, meaning where are you in the development of your program? Are you just starting out from scratch? Are we looking about building upon the foundations that you've already set? Or is it about adding scale to what might already be a well-developed program? We also need to think about things like deliverability. Are there any current negative impacts by deliverability? Is the vast majority of your message actually ending up in the inbox versus the junk folder or being refused by networks altogether? Right? But taking a step back from that, we think about onboarding as being two phases, Parity and Parity Plus. Parity is about taking over your program as it currently exists. And this is important for several reasons. One, just as if you were hiring a new employee, there's a bit of onboarding time with a new agency. We need time to really understand the brand voice to a point where we can faithfully reproduce that in full fidelity. Additionally, we need some time to benchmark the current performance of your program so we can measure the impact of our service once we've fully completed onboarding. After we've fully completed Parity in that first 6 to 8 weeks, then we think about Parity Plus. And Parity Plus is where we take some of the insights from managing your program over several weeks and months and start developing and applying some of those learnings to tactical and strategic improvements. But we can consider onboarding to be successful when we have fully institutionalized that brand ethos among our team. We can faithfully reproduce the brand voice and market motion in full fidelity, as if we were a true extension of your team and sitting right next to the rest of your marketing folks. There are a couple of different stages, or there are a couple of different initiatives and efforts that happen during this onboarding phase. And audit and program assessment is an important part of that. We want to understand where the program is so we can understand the white space between where it needs to be taken or where it could be taken. And so when we audit, we take a deep dive into, first off, your data. Where are these customers, or excuse me, where are your subscribers coming from? What are all the different sources? And what are the most performative words or creatives that are driving the majority of your subscriptions? We also want to look at the type of customer data that we have for each of your subscribers and start determining how we can best leverage those data points for segmentation, audience targeting, personalization, as well as dynamic and conditional content. After we've taken a look at the customer data, the next thing we like to look at is deliverability. What's the current state of your deliverability? Again, are the majority of your messages landing in inbox, or are they going elsewhere? Are your sender authentications set up properly? What's the current reputation that has been attached to both your domain as well as your IP address? We also do a full code and creative review. Does your current creative following best design practices? Are they accessible? Are they compatible in dark mode? Right? Any opportunity to improve both of those things or otherwise bring your program into compliance quickly becomes a priority for service. After we've completed our design and code review, we do an exhaustive analysis of your automations, your customer journeys, what some people call workflows, for example. And this is important because in any healthy e-commerce program, those flows, those journeys, typically account for anywhere between 60 to 80% of your total annual revenues. So we like to prioritize those things first. They run in perpetuity in the background and are triggered anytime a customer takes an action or maybe even an inaction. They're also triggered by date or time, meaning these messages can go out at any time or any point. So it's important to move their perfection or their improvement as much to the front of our engagement as absolutely possible. Once we've completed the assessment of your automations or your journeys, we then take the same exercise and apply it to your more frequent marketing messages, what some people still call promotionals or newsletter messages. How often are you sending? What's the impact and effectiveness of that current cadence? What are the most performative elements that most consistently drive engagement and compel people to put hands on mouse and fingers on keyboard and click through to follow a call to action? Lastly, we wrap up our audits with a full review of your transactional messaging. Transactional messages have the highest open and reopen rates of any messages that you'll send throughout your program. They're also retained in the inbox for far longer than any other messages you send, meaning there's an opportunity to inject a little bit of marketing value into your transactional messages we're going to find exactly what that value is and make the recommendation that will most move the needle with regards to bringing additional value to these messages that you're already sending. The last stage of our audit involves taking all of our findings and developing those into actionable insights. Those actionable insights are then further distilled into recommendations, which are then prioritized by effort and impact. The project roadmap starts at the very top with the recommendations that represent the lowest effort but have the highest impact on performance and value to your program. The rest of the recommendations are then waterfalled down from the top to the bottom. This then becomes the go-to-market or the go-to-war plan for the rest of the email program going forward.